I need your sympathy today because I'm locked inside the house. I can't go outside. Do you know why? Well, even though the sun is out and everything is lovely, as you can see now out of my studio window, unfortunately the hay fever season has arrived and I have to stay indoors because if I go outside, I will start sneezing my little head off. Here we go then, we are back together again. Yes, oh, I can't believe it. Can you? Here we go again. Yes, it is English Addict Extra, coming to you live from the birthplace of the English language, which is England. Hi everybody, this is Mr. Duncan in England. How are you today? Are you okay? I hope so. Are you feeling happy today? Can you see what I have here? I have the flag of the country or the nation in which I am living right now. This is the place I was born. Today we are talking about flags and also nationalism as well. One of the reasons why I'm doing it is because a lot of people today are talking about the new anthem for Britain, which now appears to be being adopted as the new national anthem. However, we do have our traditional national song here in the UK called God Save the Queen. So a lot of people know that one. You might know the tune because it is played quite often, especially during ceremonies such as the Olympic Games, for example, or maybe during a special occasion, maybe when the Queen is riding through the street in her lovely golden carriage, which, by the way, I helped to pay for. Isn't that nice? So today we are talking about flags, nationalism, and also, I suppose, your own national anthem. Do you have a song that represents your country? Do you have a piece of music that represents the place where you were born? A lot of people feel very strongly about this subject. I know it is a rather sensitive one, but we are talking about that today. Also, I suppose it is worth mentioning that this week, 5 years ago, something happened. Do you know what it is? Something happened this week, 5 years ago, and it has something to do with this. I wonder if you know what it is. Of course, this particular flag has 2 names, by the way. Not a lot of people know this, but this can be called the Union flag, or it can be called the Union Jack as well. So quite often we will call it a Union Jack if it is being raised in distress on a ship. However, normally you will call this the Union flag. So that's the normal title of this. I am going to get into trouble for waving this around. I really am. YouTube at the moment is very sensitive. They are literally flagging people for showing flags. Isn't that strange? So what happened this week, 5 years ago, in this country? Can anyone remember? By the way, my name is Mr. Duncan. You might notice the writing underneath my nose. There it is. I talk about the English language. I talk about all sorts of things, in fact. I like talking about English. You might even say that I am an English addict. And I have a feeling that you might also be one of those as well. So now we have the introduction out of the way. Yes, we have made it all the way to the middle of the week. It is a hot day It's a beautiful day. It really does feel like summer has arrived, which of course it has. At the weekend, officially, summer started. And now we are enjoying the lovely sunshine, even though I have to stay in the house. Unfortunately, locked away because I can't go outside because of the hay fever and the pollen going up my nose. Yes, we have made it all the way halfway through the week because it is Wednesday. Game over. So we are back here today. I hope you are feeling good. How has your week been? Has it been a good week? Have you had a nice week? The weather today is very nice. You will notice behind me, what you are looking at behind me is the live view outside, looking over the Shropshire Hills into the distance, and you can see that everything is starting to look very colourful. You can see there behind me there is a field, and that looks like it might be rapeseed. I think so. I think that is actually rapeseed in that particular field behind me. 5 years ago this week, what happened? Can you remember? A lot of people are talking about this today. Various things, hot topics, you might say. You might describe these things as hot topics. If you know already, a hot topic is something that lots of people are talking about, but also it might be something that may or may not cause some sort of division. And if there's one thing in particular that we are talking about at the moment here in this country, it is nationalism. It is the pride that people have in their own country. And some people believe that it is a wrong thing to do. Some people think it is a good thing. Some people believe that having a flag in your hand and waving it around is a good thing, whilst others believe it is a form of nationalism, maybe something that is pushing that side, that emotion, too much. A very hot topic at the moment. 5 years ago this week, we had a very big decision to make. We had to vote whether or not to leave the European Union. Brexit, the Brexit referendum took place this week, and it was decided 5 years ago. It's taken a very long time to get to this point, by the way. 5 years ago, we voted here to leave, to say goodbye to the European Union. Not everyone, but some people did and some people didn't. And slightly more people said they wanted to leave, whilst slightly fewer people said they wanted to remain. 5 years ago that happened. I can't believe it was that long ago. Has it really taken us 5 years to get to this point? And we are still arguing. We are still fighting amongst ourselves. This time, do you know what we are arguing about at the moment? We are fighting over sausages. I'm not joking. One of the big things that we are all disagreeing on at the moment is whether or not Europe will buy our sausages. I can't believe it. Time really does fly. You are right. The live chat is now up and running. Hello to everyone watching today. I hope you are having a good Wednesday wherever you are in the world. Who was first on today's live chat, I wonder? Oh, Very interesting. This is a very interesting situation taking place here because today, maybe for the first time ever, first on today's live chat, it's Beatrice. Congratulations. Well done, Beatrice. You are first. Is it your first time being first on the live chat? I'm not sure. I'm not actually certain whether or not it is. Also, hello to Arfazi and also to Palmyra. Also, we have Luis Mendez is here today. Nice to see you here, Luis. Also, we have Zudzika, Willian. Mr. Steve keeps pronouncing your name wrong, doesn't he? He does, yes. He keeps saying William, but it's Willian. Tiffany. Hello, Tiffany. Azara. I like your name, by the way, Tiffany. It sounds like Tiffany, that place where all of the expensive jewellery and the diamonds are sold. It sounds very similar to that. Also, we have Claudia is here. Hello, Claudia. Nice to see you back. Belarusia, of course, is who I'm talking about. Also, Sandra and Luciana. I haven't seen you for a long time. Welcome back. Welcome back to Luciana. I always think of Pavarotti when I hear your name. I wish I could sing as well as Luciana Pavarotti. Luciana is here, although you are a lady as well, so I don't want to misgender you, you see, because I will get into trouble. They will come around my house and they will hit me with large bananas. Hello to Grace Chin. Hello also to Monicia. Nice to see you here as well. Very good. Thank you very much for clicking on my little face. Very nice. Also we have Monica. We have Mavi watching in Turkey. We have Sandra Gonzalez. 5 years ago. Yes, 5 years have passed. And it's taken it's taken over 4 years to actually reach some sort of agreement. So 5 years ago this week, we voted to say goodbye to the European Union. And I'm sure someone is going to ask, Mr. Duncan, which way did you vote? Did you vote to stay or leave? What do you think? Hello also to Cree watching in Italy. A big bonjouros to you. Very nice to see you here today. Tomek is here. Oh, I noticed Tomek has changed his little avatar. I don't know what it is, but it looks very interesting. Anna Kobe is here as well. Also, we have Mayora or Mayori. Hello to you as well. Oh my goodness, there is quite a crowd gathering on my live chat. I'm not sure if YouTube has enough bandwidth to take it all, to be honest. So today we are talking about nationalism. It's a very sensitive topic. I am waving my flag around. You don't normally see me do this, but I'm doing it today because we are talking about that subject. So we do have a new national anthem. And it's all about how Britain is fair and equal and just, and everything is lovely on this little tiny mossy rock in the middle of the Atlantic. What do you think? Do you think it's a good idea to have a national anthem? Or maybe, I suppose also, I could ask, do you know your national anthem? So do you have a song that represents your country? I remember when I was in China, I used to hear the Chinese national anthem all the time. In fact, I used to hear it so often, I can hear it in my head all the time. It's in there, playing away all the time. So yes, I did hear the Chinese anthem quite often when I was living there. But also we have our own national anthem, which is a little more somber. And if that doesn't sing you to sleep, nothing will. Hello also, what? Oh, hello, what? Nice to see you here as well. Very nice. Also to... Mayori says, yes, India has its own national anthem. It is called Janganman. Janganman. I hope I pronounced that right. So what about you? I know in America, the United States has their national anthem, and quite often, when you hear it, you have to put your hand on your heart, and you have to swear allegiance to those stars and stripes. Hello also to Abdal. Hello Abdal. Yes, we are talking about national anthems, nationalism, I suppose. It is a very difficult thing to talk about. I will be honest with you, it isn't the easiest subject to talk about because it normally does divide people. However, here at the moment we are talking a lot about it because of Brexit. I suppose it has a lot to do with Brexit. It has a lot to do with those divisions that exist in our society, in this country, where there are people who still feel angry and upset that we left Europe, and there are those that feel very strongly that we should have done it and it was the right thing to do. So it depends really on each person's point of view. But it is a great debating subject. Palmyra. Of course, did you hear the national anthem? Yesterday I followed the national anthem of England and it seems very slow, a bit boring. Yes, I suppose so. It is a little bit dreary. That's a great word. If Mr. Steve was here now, he would be explaining the meaning of the word dreary. Dreary is something that is dull, dismal, something tedious, boring. It goes on and on without stopping. It has no spirit. It has no life. So a lot of people think that the national anthem here in our country is a little dull and a little boring. I do like the French anthem. I will be honest with you. I do like the French anthem. I think maybe I got a bit carried away there. I'm sorry about that. Please don't click away. Please stay here. I'm not really crazy, honestly. Yes, a person can also be dreary. A person can be dreary. A dull, boring person can be dreary. You can have a dreary day. Dreary, dull, uninteresting, grey, lifeless, dreary. I like it. Beatrice says, your performance was very nice. Thank you. Although sometimes I do worry that I might be losing my mind slightly. Luciana says, unfortunately, I am proud of my national anthem when I hear it at the Olympic Games. Well, you don't have to be embarrassed by it. I think there is nothing wrong with having something that identifies your country. That is the reason why I always show my flags of the world every Sunday. If you watch my live stream on Sunday, you will notice that I do have a small feature whilst taking a break, and it's flags of the world. So everyone can look for their flag. So it is exciting, it is interesting, and I suppose there is a feeling of, emotion. Is that the right word to use? You can become emotional when you hear your national anthem, especially if you are representing your country in a competition, such as football. At the moment, of course, we have the Euro 2020 taking place, even though it isn't 2020, it's 2021. It's very, very confusing. Or the Olympic Games. You might be the fastest runner on the track and you win your gold medal. And then you stand there on top of the podium and suddenly your national anthem begins to play and your flag is raised. And I suppose that moment must feel very, very, wonderful. It must feel amazing, in fact. Hello to Alessandra. Hello, Mr. Duncan, and all the friends in the chat. Hello to you. We are also looking at other things today. National anthem is one of them. We're also looking at words and phrases that can be connected to proof, to using or having proof. Proof. To prove something, to show that something is true or correct. Quite often you will have to show proof. So that is something coming later on. And also words and phrases connected to jump. It might seem like a very simple word or a very simple action, but there are many uses of the word jump. All of that coming up a little bit later on. Hello to Soliman. Hello, Soliman. Soliman Marmat. Where are you watching at the moment, I wonder? I can see your flag on the screen. Unfortunately, it is very small. Yes, says Mavi, we have a national anthem for our country, which is Turkey. And the name is the Independence March. I think I've heard it. I think I've actually heard the Turkish national anthem. I think I heard it when I was actually there. Hello also to Sharam Sherry. Hello, Sharam Sherry. I don't recognise your name. Is it your first time here? If it is, please let me know. So do you have a national anthem? If you want to talk more about that, you can. By the way, I have some very good news concerning one of the birds in my garden. Over the past couple of months, a couple of pigeons, a pair of pigeons, have been building a nest in one of the trees in the garden, just outside the window at the front of the house. And I have been closely watching, but this morning, imagine my surprise when I opened the curtains and I looked, and there it was. One single egg in the pigeon nest. So what must have happened? I think the pigeon went to get something to eat and then came back. So a few moments later, the pigeon returned to sit on the egg. So that's amazing. So we might be able to watch a young pigeon being raised in the nest. So I'm going to try and set my camera up, and I'm hoping to get some lovely pictures of that. Talking of pictures, something I want to show you now in my back garden. Maybe quite a few of you are familiar with the garden at the back of my house. There are 2 large trees at the back of the house, and they are palm trees. I'm sure you know which ones I'm talking about. Well, over the past couple of weeks, something rather special has been happening to them. They have started to produce flowers. So I thought it would be nice to have a little look at that actual happening. Would you like to have a look at it now? Okay, let's do it. I hope you enjoyed that. Something very surprising that we noticed a couple of weeks ago. We noticed that there were some flowers starting to grow from our palm trees. And these particular trees are called ponytail palms. Although, ironically, they are not actually palm trees. They are actually lilies. They are a member of the lily family. However, the flowers don't start to grow until the plant is 10 years old. So we've had these in the garden since we moved here 8 years ago, but they were also here before we moved here. So they've been growing for approximately 10 years. And there they are. The flowers have actually now come out. And I have to say, I was rather, I was intrigued, to say the least. Very intriguing. Isn't nature wonderful? I have to be honest with you, I can't begin to tell you how excited I get. But yes, they are a very fascinating type of tree. And even more unusual because now they are flowering, and the flowers are very small, very tiny yellow flowers, but the bees love them very much. So I'm still learning about these particular trees, because for many years they've just been in the garden growing, not doing much. And then suddenly these flowers started to emerge from the palm leaves. Very nice. Hello to Sahil. Nice to see you here. Sahil, how are you today? I hope you're feeling good. Yes, it is a very interesting subject when we talk about people's feeling when they talk about their own country. It is, of course, possible to fall in love with another country. I think it is possible in your life, maybe if you live in the same place, maybe the place where you were born, you live in the same place for many years. You might feel as if you want to explore somewhere else. And you might travel to another country and then discover that you love that country more than the place you originally came from. So it can happen. It can happen. Hello to Sandra. Hello also to, Cree Cree. Hello, Mr. Duncan. The Italian anthem is called Also Inno de Mameli and was written by a man in the 19th century called Goffredo Mameli. I hope I pronounced those correctly. But yes, the Italian national anthem. Most countries will have their own national anthem. The reason why I'm talking about this is here in the UK we are having a special celebration. I think it's on the 23rd of June, where we are just going to talk about Britain, celebrate being British, and also there is a new song that has been composed, which some people are saying may or may not be the new national anthem. Unbelievable. Hello also to, can I say hello to Soliman again? Thank you very much. Is it your first time here? If it is, please tell me where you are. I'm interested to find out. Yes, we are talking about some other things in a few minutes. We have words connected to jump and also how to prove something. What is it? The action of proving something, the action of having proof, coming up a little bit later on as well. For those who are wondering, I make English lessons and there are many English lessons on my YouTube channel. Here is an example of one of my lessons. This is an excerpt from my full English lesson. It's number 38. And in this, there are some very interesting subjects contained within it. And then after that, we are back together again on the live chat. Oh, thank you. Thank you for that lovely round of applause. Isn't it nice to receive a warm welcome? A polite greeting offered to someone as they appear is a warm welcome. You are pleased to see someone, so you offer them a warm welcome. An audience might clap or applaud. The action of a group of people clapping is a round of applause. You can also applaud someone for their achievements. You give praise and encouragement to someone by telling them how happy you are for them. You applaud them. I know what you're thinking now. Mr. Duncan, when are you going to start today's full English lesson? That is a very good question. So without any more delay, let's get on with today's full English lesson right now. How are things going with your English studies? Are you progressing well? Are you happy with the way it is going? Or are there some annoying difficulties you are experiencing right now? One of the biggest problems with learning a new language is appreciating how well you are doing. It is very easy to underestimate how well you are progressing with your English learning. You might think you are doing much worse than you actually are. This is one of the reasons why you might need to build some self-confidence in not only your ability to learn, but also to appreciate how far you have come with your studies. During my time, I have mentored many students who have an unrealistic view of how much they have learned. Try to avoid always comparing yourself to other English speakers. As I said in the previous lesson, you must not put too much pressure on yourself. Learn to appreciate how much you have learned. Be proud of what you have achieved so far. Learning is a journey, and on that journey it is useful to take a look back now and again to fully appreciate how far you have come with your English studies. It's time to take a look at another buzzword. A buzzword is a word or phrase that is popular during a certain time or is generally used. Today's buzzword is privilege. The word privilege is generally used as a noun and means a special right, advantage, or immunity granted or available only to a particular person or group. In this sense, the word is used to show inequality or a certain bias towards a particular social group. Some people see privilege as a thing enjoyed only by a certain race or someone with a high social standing. It always seems to be the privileged few who get into a good university. The privilege might be there from birth, examples of which include being born in a particular country, to a certain social class, or of a certain race. The topic of privilege has become a hot subject over the years. The perception that one social group has more rights than another often relates to the notion of privilege. We can also use privilege to express the honour of doing something. It is a privilege for me to be here with you all again. Another use of privilege relates to the right of a lawyer or official to refuse to divulge or reveal confidential information. The private or confidential conversations between a professional and their client can be classed as privileged information. It cannot be disclosed. The phrase "check your privilege" is used to suggest that someone should recognize that their attitudes or views reflect the fact that they are in a privileged or advantageous position because of their particular social category or categories to which they belong. For example, there is the concept of white privilege, which suggests an inherent bias or favoritism towards those who are Caucasian. The original meaning of the word privilege literally means private law and comes from Latin, with the original definition expressing a particular law affecting an individual. Oh, I have to say we are covering some very hot topics today. It's almost as hot as the weather outside my window. Very nice to see you here today. Hello, if you just joined us, you are watching English Addict coming to you live from the birthplace of English, which is, of course, England, which is, of course, part of Great Britain, which is, of course, also part of the United Kingdom. I know it's very confusing. The only thing I do know is that we are no longer part of the European Union. Oh, Mr. Duncan, you are so naughty today. I have had an extra Weetabix. That's the reason why, I think so. Hello, Anna Rita. Anna is here. Nice to see you back as well on the live chat today. Yes, we are talking about lots of different things. We were talking about the national anthem. Luis Mendez says, I like the Russian national anthem. It's very powerful, I always think of tanks and marches and large armies marching whenever I hear the Russian national anthem. It's very, very powerful. I think you are right. Anna says, it is a pleasure to be with all of you again. Well, please save your applause. Please save your congratulations until I've actually finished, because you might change your mind at some point, you see. We have Pakistan here. Fayaz. Hello, Fayaz. Nice to see you here as well. A lot of people yesterday were watching the football. It looks as if England are through to the next stage of the Euro 2020. Although sadly Scotland are out. You can probably imagine that did not go down well with some people. Hello, Katiana. Hello, Katiana. Katiana Souza. Nice to see you here as well. Fwong Huin says, I am so happy to catch your live stream, Mr. Duncan. Hello to you. I have a feeling, I think you might be in Vietnam. Do you know what? I don't know. I really don't know what the Vietnamese national anthem sounds like. I don't know. So maybe later on I will have a listen. I will find it and have a listen, because I don't think I've ever heard it before. Hello, English Vibes. I really like the expression that is in your title, the proof is in the pudding. It is one of my favourites and I've known it from a novel. Very good. Thank you very much. We are talking about proving and having proof of things. And I suppose in a way it's an interesting word to actually bring up, because quite often we hear this word when one person says something about another person. Maybe they accuse them of doing something. Maybe they say, my neighbour stole my wife or my dog or my prize tomatoes from my garden. But if you make an accusation, if you accuse someone of doing something, you do have to have some proof. So I thought today we would have a look at some proof words and phrases. Words that can be used, words that we will use, and ways of using proof. The thing that is used as evidence, I suppose, is a good way of explaining that. So here we go. When we say proof, we mean, well, we are referring to the action of showing that something is true or real. You will normally have to demonstrate that thing as fact. So when we talk about proof, we are talking about material or something that will prove that the thing you are saying is actually true. Proof. It is the thing that says this is true. This is real. I have proof. I have proof of that thing. This usually means that proof must be provided. You must show proof or give evidence. So there is another word we can use instead of proof. You can say proof or evidence. The evidence is the thing that you produce that shows that that thing is true. Of course, you can also use it in the opposite way as well. So the word proof is often used in certain situations. You must prove that something is true by showing proof, so as to make your statement real. You must prove that something is true. For example, as I said earlier, if you say something, maybe you say something about another person. Maybe you say, my neighbour came into my garden last night and stole all of my prized tomatoes. They're all gone. The first thing you will be asked is for proof. Show us. How do you know? How do you know your neighbour did that? Do you have proof? Do you have something you can show, something you can use to demonstrate that that thing did happen? And that person is responsible. So you must prove that something is true by showing proof. You must show that that thing actually happened in the way you said. Of course, you must be very careful as well. When you say something about another person, if you accuse someone of doing something wrong, you have to make sure you have some proof. To show proof is to give a clear statement of what is being said truthfully. To show proof is to give a clear statement that what is being said is true. So if you say something, if you make a statement, if you are making an accusation, if you accuse someone of doing something, you have to make sure that you have proof. You give a statement. In law, it is required that proof is given during a criminal trial. So this is what I'm leading to. Quite often, we will require proof, especially if a person is going to court. If you are found or charged for a crime, quite often there needs to be some proof. The other word we used earlier, of course, is evidence. The proof of guilt and the proof of innocence are both put forward during a trial. So if you are unfortunate enough to be in court, accused of something, maybe something serious, quite often the person prosecuting has to have proof that you did it. But of course, the opposite is also possible. You can also have someone who is giving evidence, or they have proof that you didn't do it. So one group of people is trying to prosecute and the other is trying to defend. But both people have to have some sort of proof. Proof that you are guilty, proof that you are innocent. Proof. When an accusation is made by someone towards another person, it is often expected that some proof will be given. So, to accuse someone, an accusation is a statement where one person is saying another person did something, and quite often they did something wrong. They committed a crime. They said something. They did something that may or may not be against the law. So when an accusation is made by someone towards another person, it is often expected that some proof will be given. You have to offer, you have to show some proof. These days, we often refer to proof as receipts. So quite often you will hear people saying, I have evidence that someone did something. I have all of the receipts. Quite often this is referring to things that happen on the internet. So maybe if one person is saying something in a chat room and then later another person accuses them of saying something very bad or very rude, then they might have evidence of that thing being said. A person in a chat room says something bad, you save a photograph or a picture of that chat. And quite often people will say, I have all of the receipts. The receipts. So when we talk about a receipt, it is just proof. Quite often when you go to a shop, if you buy something from a shop, quite often they will give you some proof to show that you have paid for that thing. It is proof to say that the thing you have from that shop has been purchased by you. You have the receipt. You have the proof. So these days we often refer to proof as receipts. Something that can be shown as proof is a receipt. Here on YouTube there are many publishers who often get into arguments or fights. And quite often one person will show or display evidence that the other person said something bad or did something bad. So quite often you'll hear young YouTube stars, you know who I'm talking about, and they will say, I have some information here about a certain YouTuber, and I have the receipts. I have receipts. So it does happen quite often that one person will say something or do something and another person may have proof or evidence. So proof is the thing being used to make a case. To make your case is the thing that you are accusing a person of. So the case is the information, the actual information that you have that proves another person did something. Proof is the thing being used to make a case. Prove is the act of showing the proof. So if you prove something, it means you are displaying something, you are showing something, you are explaining something that gives proof. So to show proof is to prove. You prove something. You might prove someone's guilt. You might prove someone's innocence. Are they guilty or are they innocent? Did they do it or did they not do it? Quite often, you need proof. The thing being shown as proof is the evidence. As I said earlier, you have to produce something. You have to show that the thing you are saying is true. And quite often you have to show proof, evidence. The evidence is the proof being put forward. Here's another one. To show that something is true, it must be substantiated. I like that word very much. It must be substantiated. So you can't just say something without having some proof. It must be substantiated. You must have something to prove that the thing you are saying is right or true. Substantiate. Oh, I like that word. So it must be substantiated to be believed. It has to be proved to be true. I like that one very much. It is possible to show what is true and what is a lie by providing truth. As I said earlier, proof is something that you offer to prove that a person did something or to prove that they did not do something. They are, in fact, innocent. They are innocent. Or, of course, they might be guilty. There is a phrase in English. This is a wonderful phrase. I love this phrase as well. If you want to try something, if you want to actually say how good something is, you can say the proof is in the pudding. The evidence is clear. So if you go and try something, if you see something that is used as proof, then quite often we will say, there, you see, the proof is in the pudding. It means it is very evident. You don't have to think about whether it is true or not, because the proof is in the pudding. So quite a few words and quite a few phrases can be used when we are talking about proof. Before a person can be accused of a crime, normally they will have to have some proof. The police will have to have some sort of proof that the person who is being charged actually committed the crime. We are going to take a little break. It is 3 o'clock here in the UK. I don't know what time it is where you are, but now I think we will have a little break. We still have lots of things to come. But, as I mentioned earlier, we are looking at flags. Mr. Duncan, I think I know where you are going. This is the flag of the country where I live, but now it is time for you to spot the country where you live, because it's time for those lovely flags of the world. There they were, those flags of the world. Did you see your flag? Was it there? I hope you managed to spot it somewhere. Hello to... Oh, that's interesting. I think Sergio has just gone outside for a cigarette. Or maybe you are referring to me. I don't smoke. I have no bad habits. Well, okay, maybe one or two. Thank you very much for your lovely company today. We are talking about lots of things. We were mentioning earlier, we did mention the national anthem of this country because on the 23rd we are having a special Britain Day. Make Britain great. And apparently everyone is going to be talking about how great Britain is, you see, because Great Britain is actually in the name of the country. Great Britain, you see. You say Great Britain. You can say Britain. You can say the United Kingdom. A lot of people think of England, Wales, Scotland and Northern Ireland, and together they create the United Kingdom. Wow. If you are confused by this, imagine what we feel like. We have to remember this all the time. Oh, hello to Khan Nguyen. Oh, hello, Khan Nguyen. Nice to see you back here as well. Very nice. So a lot of people talking about their own national anthems. What about you? Do you have a national anthem in your country? It is amazing. There are people here who don't even know what the national anthem is. So I suppose many years ago, you would always hear the national anthem. Quite often the BBC, when the BBC stopped broadcasting at night, before they closed down, they would always play the national anthem at the very end of their broadcast. Of course, nowadays, most television channels do not shut down. They don't have any close down, so they stay on all the time. But yes, I remember on the BBC, they used to say, the BBC is now closing down. We will end with the national anthem. And then they would play it. And many years ago, it was required that a person must stand up if they heard the national anthem here in the UK. So if you heard it, you had to stand up wherever you were. Even if you were driving a bus, you had to stand up. Please don't try that. Please. Kathiani, hello to you. Thanks for joining me today. John Joseph 10 is also here today. Hello, John Joseph 10. Nice to see you back as well. Oh, we have Mr. Lover. Mr. Lover. I think that deserves an echo. Mr. Lover. I'm Mr. Loverman. Shabbat. Hello also to Addy again. Addy says, my father is pissed off that Scotland was knocked out of the Euros. Ah, is that because he Scottish? Maybe he's Scottish. Maybe he just likes Scotland. Everyone has their own favourite football team, I know, except me. I might be a very unusual man for various reasons, one of them being that I don't support football. I don't really have a football team that I like. I don't follow football very much. Oh, Addy says, yes, we are from Aberdeen. Well, yes, that's very Scottish. So I can see now why. And this is something that happens. A lot of people do become very patriotic during something that maybe their country is taking part in, such as the Euro Cup football, or maybe the Olympic Games, which start very soon in Japan. So, yes, I think people can become very patriotic. They can probably become very affectionate, quite connected with their country. Of course, some people can also take it too far, and they can become very patriotic. Jingoistic is a great word. Here's a good word. Jingoistic. If a person is jingoistic, it means they are fervently, they are strongly patriotic, quite often to the point where maybe they believe that their country is superior. Maybe they believe that only their country is the important country in the world. We often use jingoistic or jingoism when a person is talking about the weaponry or the army or the military that their own country has. So yes, a very divisive word. And quite often this is used in a negative sense. So quite often a person who is jingoistic, this word is often said as an insult. So this is not really a positive word. If someone describes a thing such as a statement, something a person has said or done, as jingoistic, it is quite often negative, a negative word. Richard. Hello, Richard. Nice to see you here as well. Fanaticism is always harmful. I suppose so. I would imagine it depends on what you are a fan of. You can be a fan of your favourite pop group, or you can be a fan of a certain type of ideology. And maybe that particular way of thinking is not a good one. Do I have to say more? Maybe not. Here is a word that you might hear quite a lot in English, but you might not realise just how many uses it has and ways in which it can be used. The word is jump. Jump. I like that word. It's a simple word. It's a word that only has 4 letters, and yet it can be used in many ways. I always find in English that many words that are short or small quite often have many uses in the English language. Thank you for your lovely comments today. Quite a lot of people getting involved. It would appear that this is quite a hot topic today. I wasn't trying to get a reaction, but I just thought it was a very interesting subject because it is something that we were talking about a lot over the past couple of days here in the UK. Because it is 5 years this week, 5 years since the vote was decided. That's all I'm saying. A lot of people are asking, Mr. Duncan, how did you vote? Did you vote to leave or did you vote to remain? Mr. Duncan, how did you vote? What is your opinion on that? Ooh, I might tell you later. Here we go then. So when we say jump, quite often we are talking about travelling a short distance, but quite often also in a short period of time. So jump quite often is to do something, move suddenly over a short distance. Leap is another one as well. You might leap. You might leap over something. You might leap over a fence. You might leap over a fallen tree. You might leap over a river. To leap or to jump. You jump. Of course, there are many other words as well we can use. We can jump up. Jump up. You launch yourself up in the air using your feet and your legs. You jump up. You jump in. Now, this particular phrase can be used in many ways. To jump in. Maybe you jump in to the swimming pool. Maybe you jump in to the river. You jump in a car. Jump in. It means you move from one place and you go in to a certain place. You go from one place to another. Quite often the place you are going to is indoors, or inside, or underneath, jump in. To join a conversation can also be described as jumping in. If you jump in a conversation, you jump in, you join a conversation. Maybe two people are having a conversation and you decide to jump in. You jump in, you suddenly join the conversation. You start discussing the topic with the other people. You jump in. Jump on. Again, you are jumping onto an object. Quite often we use this when you jump on, for example, a bus. You might jump on a bus. You are trying to get onto the bus in a hurry, so you jump on. Jump on. You jump on a bus. You might attack someone from behind. You jump on. You jump on them. You attack them. You go up to a person and you jump on them. You might jump to something. This does sound a little odd, Mr. Duncan. That does not look grammatically correct. But yes, you can jump to something. Quite often when we are considering something, you might jump to an idea. You might jump to a conclusion. You think about something. You jump to something. Maybe to think without clearly considering something is to jump to. You can jump forward as well. This means you are moving forward, but maybe for just a short distance. You jump forward. So to move forward, you jump forward. Sometimes we say the word skip as well. So maybe if you are playing this video, like now, you are watching this, you might decide to jump forward to another part of the video. You jump forward because this part of the video is very boring. So you think, oh, this is so boring. I'm going to jump forward on the video. And of course, as well, we can say jump back. You can jump back. So instead of going forward, you can jump back. Ooh. Maybe if you are trying to avoid something, maybe if you are crossing the road and a car comes by, you might jump back. You are trying to avoid being hit by a car. So yes, we can use the word jump in many ways. There are also some phrases we can use in English as well. For example, we can jump the gun. If you jump the gun, it means you start too early. You start doing something too early or too soon. You jump the gun. So you are supposed to wait until you hear the sound of the gun. But some people will start to run before the gun fires. We can say that they jump the gun. It means you start or you do something too soon. You jump the gun. We can also say that a person might jump to conclusions. So to jump to conclusions, or maybe you jump to a conclusion, means you are thinking too quickly. You are not considering things carefully. You are deciding something without hearing the evidence or all of the information. You just jump to conclusions. Maybe you see your neighbour late at night and maybe he is saying goodbye to a young lady leaving his house very late at night, and you might think, I think maybe he has a young girlfriend. Who could she be? I think maybe he is seeing a young lady. But of course, you don't know all of the information. You don't have all of the information, so you might be wrong. It could be just something very innocent. Maybe it is his cousin or daughter, or maybe someone from work. You see? So sometimes it is possible to think something too quickly. You jump to conclusions. You arrive at an answer without thinking carefully. You jump to conclusions. It's not a good thing. It's not a good thing to jump to conclusions. Oh, that's a very good one. Thank you, Addy. You might jump down someone's throat. Yes, that is a good one. It means you don't give a person the chance to answer or to talk, or maybe you do something angrily towards someone. Maybe you punish someone verbally. You jump down their throat. You don't give the other person a chance to answer or to speak up. You jump down their throat. You attack them, quite often verbally. So if you jump down a person's throat, it means you are attacking them. You are saying something harsh to that person. Hello. Hello. You might not believe this. There is actually a baby robin sitting on my window, looking at me, watching me. Hello. I wish I could show you. The robin is just staring in. It is fascinated, trying to work out what I'm doing. Yeah, I'm doing a live stream at the moment. You can come in if you want. Come on. No, not interested. Here's another one. Oh, I like this one. Talking of animals. Oh, jump the shark. A person might jump the shark. That bird is still there. I wish I could show you, but I don't have a camera nearby, unfortunately. Maybe I can take a picture with my phone. Wait a minute. I will try and take a picture. He's just sitting there, sort of watching me, fascinated, wondering what is going on. Psst, 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 psst. I know as soon as I move, it will go away. Hello. Come on in. Come on. Have a little fly around. Say hello to my viewers. They're very interested to see what you look like. That is amazing. I will get my phone and I will see if I can take a photograph. Wait there. Please don't fly away. Please don't fly away. Stay where you are. Please don't fly away. I might be able to take a photograph. That's brilliant. I don't think you're going to be able to see this, but there it is. There's the bird. Can you see it? It's sitting on my window watching me. Oh, it's just gone. So there it is. Just to prove it. The bird was sitting on my window watching me. That was very funny. There it is. I hope you can see it clearly. So that is actually a baby robin trying to join in with my live stream. Isn't that strange? Robin. A baby robin. Anyway, Mr. Duncan, please tell us what this means. If you jump the shark, it means you avoid punishment, or maybe you avoid something bad. Jump the shark. So you are avoiding something, to avoid something. So imagine a shark in the ocean. And the shark will come up and it will try to catch you, but you jump the shark. So the shark does not catch you. So you avoid something bad, to avoid a bad thing happening to you. Quite often we will use this when we are talking about TV shows. So if a television program is at risk of being cancelled or axed, but then suddenly they change their mind, the people who control the network say, maybe we will give you one more try. We will give you one more chance. You jump the shark. There was a TV show many years ago called Scrubs, set in a hospital in the United States. And that particular program did jump the shark. They were going to axe the program. However, they allowed it to stay on for one more season. So they had one extra season. So Scrubs, the TV show, actually did jump the shark. It avoided being cancelled. Here's another one. Perhaps a person who is about to go to court on trial. They have been charged with a crime. Maybe they have something called bail. So this is something you pay to be released back into the public. However, you are restricted from where you can go and where you can travel to. You have to stay nearby. However, you do have a certain amount of freedom. So bail is something that is paid. It is an amount of money, and then you can walk free. However, you will still have to go back for the trial. However, if a person jumps bail, it means they go to another place. They escape, they run away. Maybe they travel abroad. So they try to escape. They try to get away from having to face trial. They jump bail. So this word, once again, jump. You jump bail, it means you escape whilst you are on bail before standing trial for a crime. And one more before we go. Here's something you might have to do in the morning. Maybe you are going to work in your car and you try to start your car. I can't do an impression of a car starting. That's terrible. They're getting worse. There you go. You're turning your key and you're trying to get your car to start, but it won't. You might have to get your friend to help you start your car by connecting the battery on their car to your car. So they are using their own battery to start your car. Normally you will need something to attach the two batteries together. So you can start another person's car using your own battery that is in your car. So if you jump start a car, it means you are using an external way or an external form of starting the engine. Jump start. Of course, another way of describing that is to push someone's car. So maybe a person can't get their car to start, and maybe someone will push the car. So you can start a car by pushing it, and then the person will put it into gear, and then hopefully the engine will start. Thank you very much for your lovely company today. So there are many ways of using the word jump. The next time you think of doing something, maybe you want to jump across a fence. Maybe you want to jump into your neighbour's garden. Maybe you want to jump into bed, or maybe out of bed. Maybe you want to jump into a window or out of a window. There's no answer to that really, is there? So it's almost time to go. I hope you've enjoyed today's live stream. It has been long. It has been hot. And we've had some nice surprises as well, including a little bird that came to say hello. I will show you the bird again. Just a few moments ago, we had a little bird that came into the studio and was sitting right in my window over there watching me. Isn't that lovely? It's a little robin, a baby robin. Isn't that nice? Anyway, I'm going now. It is time for me to wave my flag for the final time today. I hope you've enjoyed this live stream. And, of course, I will be back on Sunday. Mr. Steve will be here on Sunday. And, of course, we can all enjoy this live stream again because it will be stored, it will be saved on YouTube, and later on there will be captions as well. So later you can watch this again with subtitles. That is coming up later on. See you on Sunday. We will be live again from 2 p.m. UK time on Sunday, and we are coming towards the end of another month. July is approaching. I wonder what will happen in July. June has been interesting. It's had some very strange moments, so it all remains to be seen how July will go. Thank you very much for your company. I hope you've enjoyed this. Don't forget, if you like what you see, maybe you can also give me a little tip as well. Maybe you could make a little donation. That would be ever so nice to help my work continue, because I do all this for free. I don't charge you anything. So everything I do is free. I give everything away. For the past 15 years, everything on my YouTube channel has been and will remain free. So if you want to send a little donation, please feel free. There is the address. Catch you later. See you soon. I haven't seen Vitas today. No, I haven't seen Vitas. Maybe he has something very important that he has to do, perhaps. Thank you, Addy. Thank you also to Luciana. Thank you, Sergio. Thank you very much for your lovely company. See you soon. Sunday, 2 p.m. UK time. This is Mr. Duncan in the birthplace of English saying thanks for watching. See you on Sunday. Have a great Wednesday and enjoy the rest of your week. And of course, until the next time we meet here on YouTube, you know what's coming next. Yes, you do. Ooh. Ta-ta for now.